This is one of those movies based on a true story that I watch, I walk out of, I feel informed in the sense that I can go, okay, so the world's that corrupt and twisted. Okay, cool. Best to know what I'm dealing with. Yeah, so let's review. Dark Waters. The plural, not to be mistaken for Dark Water, the singular, which is a completely different movie. So Dark Waters, like I said, is based off of a true story. It stars Mark Ruffalo. He's a corporate defense attorney. This little farmer comes to him and he's like, my cows are all dying. That starts the ball rolling because he starts investigating it and he's like, I don't know, well, wait a minute, there's something to this. In a population being unwittingly poisoned, cover up at the corporate level, it gets bad. And just the deeper the rabbit hole goes, the deeper you're like, holy, like, I don't even remember the trailer telling you the exact chemical or product they're dealing with. So I'm not going to tell you here. But when I was watching, I was like, wait, I know that. Don't we still use that? Yeah. That's why these movies are important. Now, I mean, I'm going to tell you something you already know. Everyone's good in the movie. I mean, Mark Ruffalo, dude, to his credit, there was a time I was like, Mark Ruffalo is just always going to be that guy in those romantic comedies. What do I know? Dude is a great actor. Dude, I would say carries this movie, but Anne Hathaway, who plays his wife in the movie, she was really good too. Bring on the jokes about Hulk and Catwoman being married. But she was great too, and that whole thing works because when someone so dives into something like this and takes on this thing, I was gonna say project. It's not just a project, it's a life quest at this point. It's what it becomes for this guy, and it takes years. It really consumes his life. So you see how that affects the home, how his wife's dealing with it. It's a very important thing to see that kind of stress because, you know, people take things on in movies. It's like, yeah, but was their marriage okay? You even have Tim Robbins, Bill Pullman, they're good too. And you know, I just enjoy these investigative style movies. This movie really did remind me of Spotlight. I feel like every review is gonna be like, and Spotlight. But it does remind me of Spotlight, where you're getting the data and you're just going along this ride and you're like, holy, and it's just, it really is a story of a guy who just took on these corporate overlords because, check this out, this is crazy, I know, but coming close, it was the right thing to do. We'd all like to think we would do that, but really, if you really think about it, if you think of the strain it will put on your home life, if you're looking down the barrel of that corporate shotgun, would you really do it? It's tough. And that's the great thing about this guy. Dude is a real guy. He really did this. I gotta give credit to the research that had to have gone on in order to make this movie. You can't just whip this movie out. You can't just be like, I read a Wikipedia article once. All right, I feel like I'm informed-ish. Let's make this movie pointing these fingers. No, a lot of research had to have happened in order for this movie to happen. So props on that too. It's about corporate cover-ups, death, birth defects, covered up. This one guy who's like, I'm gonna shine the light on it. And you're not really prepared how many years it's gonna take. I mean, there are jumps in this movie that are many years. And for the first half, maybe 2/3 of this movie, it's actually remarkably smooth, including these jumps. The last act felt like this movie could have been another hour and a half long, and they were like, we can't overclock it like that. All right, let's get to the end. So it feels like it's just kind of like, all right, sped to the end of the movie, but looking at it pacing wise, I feel like that was the right thing to do. That was a good call. It was in this weird state of downtime in terms of the investigation. So like, what were we gonna do? Just hang around in the downtime? Really, the story you're watching it's something that you might walk out of this movie having the shit scared out of you. But this movie was well acted, it was interesting, it was intriguing, you're along for the investigative ride. It's a strong look as to how corporations, regardless of fallout, casualties, or anything, will hide information to save their own ass. Nothing new there, I know, but still. I suppose one of the reasons I compare this movie to Spotlight, it's not only because of the investigative aspect, but it's based on a true story, and the people who were affected, the victims, are still here. Or the families are, and they're victims too, so you gotta tread lightly and very carefully. You gotta do it all justice with respect, and I felt they really did. I'm glad this movie shines a light on it, because people need to know about this. As much as I'm using the past tense in this video, and as much as this movie showed us what got the ball rolling, the fight that they're trying to fight is still happening, which makes it crazier. It's like, why haven't I heard more about this? It just seems more newsworthy than that picture. The fact that it's based on a true story and affects us all in a larger way than one might have thought before they watched this movie, that elevates it to something that's gonna be on your mind for a little bit after you watch this. Funny thing, movies like this, I don't usually go back to and watch, but regardless, I'm gonna say Dark Waters, it's worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray. All right, so Dark Waters, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite investigative movie based on a true story? A movie about digging through the rubble of information, finding the unsettling facts. What's your favorite? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.